Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Al the Storm. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time. This is a video that I've had in the works for a while, and I've been waiting for the right opportunity to make it. It's featuring Infiltration. Infiltration is a Korean, fighting game player, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Did he play Marvel? If I don't remember, then he probably didn't. At least not to a high level, but he's an Evo champion, two-time Evo champion. Fantastic guy, fantastic gamer, cool person. And he has something that he wants to say about the FGC. And I saved this video because I heard that he said some things that I think will be worthy of my input because it will intersect with the things I talk about. But the fact that it's coming from the fighting game community, I think is of particular interest to me as a person who loves fighting games. I love Tekken, Street Fighter, I guess, but I'm a Marvel guy. Ultimate Marvel, Marvel's Capcom Infinite, Marvel's Capcom 2, all those games. The other 3D as well, MK, Bloody Roar. Yeah, I like most fighting games, Guilty Gear. So, there's something going on in the community, and I want to see if his views align with mine, if what he's talking about is going to tally with what I've been observing. So I wanted this to be a framing device for what I think is going on, but let's hear him first, since he has operated in the FGC at a much higher level than me. So let's listen.
This is Infiltration. I heard that a lot of people talk about me retweeting TenRyo's tweet yesterday. This is the content of TenRyo's tweet I retweeted.
Okay, 2025 will be... TenRyo is a well-known kind of alt-right type of guy. And yeah, nothing much more to say. The beginning of the end for Jewish influence, oof, and gatekeeping of entertainment and other forms of culture, starting with an industry I'm familiar with, esports. I will see to its eradication and we will be free. Wow. TenRyo. This was at the end of 2024. Jewish influence. Is he wrong? Is he wrong? I struggle to disagree with that, because I look at Street Fighter, right, and I look at a character like Marissa. I look at, what's the announcer's name, the SF6 announcer guy, and it's like, what is this? We all know this doesn't have a place in Street Fighter. It doesn't have a place. It's just completely antithetical. Marissa is like a tranny, big, buff, muscular, she. She's like a ma'am, right? And then you have the other guy who is like black and obviously a little bit of a cross-dresser. Let's see what's going on here. So, for me, in my humble observation in the past few years I've been on the internet, a lot of these things are... No, come on, where's the image? A lot of these things definitely have Jewish influence behind them. You're talking back all the way to Magnus Hirschfeld, but look at this character, for God's sake. Like, what is this? This is so it's like a woman, but the body is out of a man. Then you compare someone like Manon. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird, and the game commands you to accept this as normal. Where's that guy? What was it? It's like a host. What was it? I have to show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. What was it? Battle Hub host? Oh yeah, there we go. There it is, right here. Like, what is this? It's like a man that looks like a woman, but it's black, so it's like, oh, okay. It's like, well, what is it? So it's clearly Jewish influence. Like, you can mention names, Israel Cohen, Magnus Hirschfeld. That's just too easy. Then the propaganda after the way is Edward Bernays. So 2005 is already gone. So I don't know if this turned out to be true, but let's hear what Infiltration is talking about.
2025 will be the beginning. The beginning of the end for Jewish influence and the gatekeeping of entertainment and other forms of culture. Starting with an industry I'm familiar with, esports. I will see to its eradication, and we will be free. I retweeted his tweet and replied, let's do something great. And people who came back to me were saying, infiltration is racist.
How? So you can see the condition. You can see the condition. Nobody's eradicating anybody in particular. We're talking about the influence. And the influence, as I said, is false racial equivalence, false gender equivalence of gender, and this whole blending of, you can just tell when a game has, muted gender differences, muted racial differences. Look at Street Fighter 6. It's not like a rap thing. Like the menu is all rap music. The visage of the game looks completely blackified and just dirty, quite frankly. It doesn't have that same Japanese aesthetic. You could tell that they're catering to a Western, but more importantly, a black urban audience. And the only people who can push something like that so effectively will be the people that Infiltration is talking about, or TenRyo. So I want to see what they wanted to do and if they did it.
For your information,
please ditch this. Also, Ultra David. Wow, Ultra David is a very, very big, influential person in the FGC, mostly as a commentator for Street Fighter. But let's see what he says. Isn't he supposed to be a lawyer? Okay, so he says. So Ultra David says, please ditch these races. Let's keep building strong, diverse, positive communities, not just to be done with because like them, but to more effectively counteract them. Now, it's so strange. Strong, diverse, positive communities. The head of evil was like some kind of pedo. Evil head sleeping with underage boy. Right? Didn't that happen? Or am I remembering wrong? Right? So what's diverse about that? Because honestly speaking, when people say diversity, they just mean less white people. And the FGC is pretty diverse. That's the definition of diverse that we are talking about, that is being used actually. Chaos Code Nazi has said the true objective. I understand the mission, sir. Well, I guess Fabio. Fabio is funny.
This argument started with Ultra David's tweet. As you know, he's one of the people who has worked the most to destroy my career since 2018.
Okay, so yes, speaking about trying to destroy Infiltration's career, Infiltration had some domestic issue with his wife or girlfriend, and Korea is a satanic feminist hellhole that is attempting actively to destroy men. And I mean, I think Infiltration must have lost a lot, including sponsorships, maybe his house or something. Whether it was like a divorce or like a restraining order. I mean, as a man, when you are being mentally, spiritually, and physically abused, truly, the only way you can defend yourself is physically. That's why God gave us strength. Even the laziest man has enough strength to fend off the psychological, physical, emotional, and spiritual attacks of a woman. Even the laziest man can put a woman down when she's bombarding him and trying to break his spirit. So naturally, Infiltration would defend himself, but when a man defends himself against a woman, they call it domestic abuse, violence against women. But nobody ever talks about what leads up to a man defending himself. And I will always frame it as defending himself, because no man, as I say, no man just comes home and starts swinging on his wife. That's just not a real thing. It has to be something, the woman has to say something stupid, or just keep fucking talking, or always wants the last word. Shout out to Sean Connery. They are the ones who instigate violence against them. Whatever violence a woman gets, usually, especially in an intimate partner situation, is usually one that she has instigated and brought upon herself. So the cries of domestic violence and violence against women are really just a new way of women to avoid accountability. Men, on the other hand, lose their careers, they lose their sponsorships when they defend themselves. And that happened to Infiltration.
He said, please teach these racists. Let's keep building strong, diverse, positive communities, blah blah blah. First of all, I don't think TenRyo's tweet is making racist comments toward Jews. I believe that many Jews in the world have huge power, even if they are not.
Well, okay, so I believe many Jews in the world have huge power. So what he's saying is true, but you cannot argue that it's not racist because it has been deemed to be racist. When you notice that Jews have disproportionate power and influence in politics, media, movies, when you notice that, noticing that is racist. That's the thing. Racism has always been about pattern recognition. When you notice the pattern that, oh, this group of people are extremely violent, they're more likely to rob you, more likely to kill you, they have explosive tempers, fits of rage and violent anger. When you notice that, it's called racist. When you notice the disproportionate influence of people who just happen to be Jews, music, as I said, entertainment, movies, you are called anti-Semite or racist. So racism is truly about noticing a pattern.
Jews, when certain forces have power, it usually leads to a monopoly of power. I don't think monopoly in any of those areas produces good result for all of us. In the Street Fighter 4 era, when EVO hosted the tournament with PlayStation 3, most other tournaments went to the Xbox 360.
Wow, this is like history we're talking about here. Wow.
So, FGC realized that there was an input delay difference in the game between these two consoles. And in the end, after an endless effort, we cheered when we got the news that the tournament was going from EVO 2015 to Xbox 360. And since entering the Street Fighter 5 era, it's been the same for players who are accustomed to PCs to playing games and complaining or paying with PlayStation 4.
So wait, is this a Sony thing? Sony's Jewish? Let's check. Let's check if Sony is Jewish. And all it takes is one Jew, right? So Sony Music. Let's start from Sony Music. Sony Interactive. Man, my internet is so slow today. Wikipedia, Sony Music, let's go. Sony Interactive account, let's go. Okay, so Sony Computer Entertainment, key people, Hideaki Nishino, Sony Group Corporation, okay. Subsidiaries Bungie, PlayStation Productions. Who is the head of North America? Worldwide Studios. That's Herman Hulse, right? Let's see. Sony Group Corporation. Who's the CEO? Founders. They're not Jews. They're all Chinese people and Japanese. Okay. Yoshida. Okay. Totoki. We'll have to look at America. Who's the CEO of this? Okay, who's here? CBS. Oh, CBS owns Sony Music? Wow. Rob Stringer, there we go. Aylesbury, Buckinghamshire. British. Luton Town. Wow. Okay. It's interesting. Doug Morris. Alright.
This continued into the Street Fighter 6 era. Pro players have to play the game with PlayStation 5, not PC. This is because a company called Sony monopolizes the fighting game tournament.
Okay, so he's just giving an example. He's not really saying Sony is that. But yeah.
I like Sony, but it's hard to approve of their monopoly, and I'd like to see more companies compete with Sony. Only then can you make a situation that satisfies both the player and the audience. So, I agreed with some of TenRyo, but there was no hate or bad feeling about the Jewish. So I just wrote.
Come on, man. Like, when you retweet something... Okay,
let's do something great. That's it.
Yeah, but when you retweet something, you can't say, oh, I only retweet this part. If you retweet something, you have to own the possibility that you are going to be perceived as agreeing with everything the person is saying. So you don't retweet it. You may like it, and then you can quote tweets and say, yeah, I don't like monopolies either. I don't like huge concentrations of power either. But you can't say, you can't just retweet that and say, oh yeah, I really like this part, let's do something great. Something great could be the Holocaust. What the fuck?
I bet you can't find a single word or statement that I discriminate against or hate Jews.
Yeah, but you retweeted TenRyo, for God's sake. That's how it's going to be interpreted. No, this matter is too sensitive for people to be objective. People are looking for a target, and you've made yourself a target by retweeting TenRyo. That's what happened. I don't know whether TenRyo is FGC, but if you retweet him, he has a bit of reputation as well. So if you retweet him talking about Jews, yet naturally you're going to be assumed to agree with 100% of what he said.
Actually, I don't discriminate against them, but very respect them. Also, the social media called X is a space that guarantees free speech.
Yeah.
As you know, X's owner
it guarantees free speech, but I am currently suspended because of defending Tarantino. I defended Tarantino, not Polanski. So make of that what you will.
Elon Musk has publicly of X like, you are on media now. X is a safe space for free speech.
True. So he doesn't deserve any backlash, actually, because he didn't actually say it. But who cares about that? Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about the truth anymore, bro.
And many people who frame me are now attributing the target of the attack to someone else who is innocent. A few months ago, I was invited to a tournament in Germany called Bare Knuckle Altona, which will be held in January 2025. This was decided long before TenRyo's tweet. But they are already attacking German TOs and even the German app.
Wow. Oh, that's terrible.
Which has nothing to do with this. Who's trying to control our speech and freedom?
Good question. You! Babe, did you open the door?
No, I was shouting, Dada is busy, Dada is busy. What did she do?
She opened the door and ran in. Let me shut it. Thank you.
And who's making X and FGC unsafe? I don't think that's me. If you hate me, just say, I hate infiltration.
Wait a minute. Let's look at some of these comments. Infiltration 88 wasn't on my bingo card. That's funny. That's like 1488. So that's unacceptable. Who's that? Pixel Bud. I can only say that the current TO, tournament organizer of PK, is very troublesome. I'll just make a post about this anyways, which I just did now. With Disney behavior of infiltration, there needs to be action from PK. Like, why is there always a need and a desire to cancel people for having a difference of opinion? And it's easily a Jewish tactic. I've seen that many times before, where some of these women, Jewish, they'll say that, like, if they have some kind of problem with you, they make fake accounts, they make fake reports, they make fake phone calls, just to get you down. So calling the tournament organizer and putting some kind of social pressure on them to not invite infiltration, even though the invite was already there, is very much a Jewish tactic. It's not a crime to point that out, but it is a crime to notice, right? Let's see what else it says. This nigga Connie, bro. Blacks. The nigga rigged brackets. Like, let's ignore the allegation that he laid hands on his woman. See, he rigged brackets. That is so against the competitive. That's automatic disqualification. Please, can we delete infiltration from my memories? He didn't apologize for what he did. Apologize for what? Apologize for defending yourself? No man should apologize for self-preservation. No man.
I hate infiltration. I have always respected everyone, regardless of gender and race. Even though I have personal tendency, I will continue to do so. And thank you to many people who gave me a lot of criticism and advice. I will try to become a more better person. If you don't like what I'm saying, we can fight Guilty Gear Strive and Street Fighter 6. We are fighting game player, so it's pretty fair, right? Please.
One of the best players in the world says, if you disagree with me, play me in Street Fighter. That is so funny. Because, yeah, that means he will rule the world, no?
Think about it, and have a great day.
Thank you. I didn't think much of this video. I knew what he was talking about, and what he's talking about is kind of a nothing burger. He's just someone who has noticed something. And with what I said about, fighting games, like just the uglification of games, the urbanization, I never want to remember those characters. What happened to Street Fighter? Street Fighter, having this is just ugly and terrible. and things are just not panning out the way you expect them. So he's not wrong. He's not wrong about anything he's saying. And yeah, can I beat him in a game of Street Fighter? Not likely, but I can pretty certainly handle myself against him in Marvel for sure. I don't think he's a Marvel player, but I have no disagreement with him whatsoever. So we're on the same side. That being said, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Watch the last video if you didn't see it. We talked about India Love and how she made $2 million. We all know how, but it's quite an interesting watch. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Out.
Do I invoke the ancient pact of fighting? Once more, the wicked stand before us, threatening the sacred communion between your realm and mine.
We have been here before. We watch your petty world slumbering. You cannot defy the core of the mass deal. You can only surrender.
I saw a long ship made of the claws of dead men. The wraiths drove everyone to the shore. My daughter too. No man who meets the hunt returns to this world.
I returned.